Let's be honest, most money advice is setting you up to fail. Like Mauricio Rua's coach setting him up to fight Jon Jones. You get told to go all in on one thing, like a fighter in a ring or a fat man to a packet of chips. But the truth is you would get smoked. The real secret isn't the glory at the end of the victory, it's the daily, consistent, almost boring training system that they use to build endurance. What I discovered is that the habits that build strength to go 12 rounds are the exact same habits that build lasting wealth. In this video, I'm gonna show you the 4 core habits I've learned from training like a fighter, so you can build your wealth with consistency. The first and the most important lesson is that discipline beats motivation every single time. A fighter's routine is built around doing the work before comfort, distraction, or excuses. They train in the morning, whether they feel like it or not. For years, I was saving, reducing costs, and then having exactly the same cash flow, saving, and then a holiday plan would come up with my friends and it all goes away. It's a vicious cycle. The fighter's mind flips this. The goal isn't to be a hero for a day, it's to be consistent for a year. The financial equivalent is paying yourself first through automation. Here's the actionable step. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to your savings/investment accounts for the day that you get paid. It doesn't have to be a huge amount. Even a small automated transfer builds the identity of someone. Then you diversify where your saving goes, which then becomes your portfolio. So it's meant to be automatic, like when you show up for training. This removes emotion and willpower from the equation, letting your discipline do the heavy lifting when your motivation is having a 5-day bender. The second habit is to track everything. There's a popular management heuristic that says, what gets measured gets managed, and it's incredibly true for money. A fighter's conditioning improves because their work is measurable. Rounds, reps, and time are all logged. They don't just feel like they're getting stronger, they have the data to prove it. Tracking your finances is the equivalent of a fighter tracking his runs on Strava. It's about creating awareness and knowing your stats. Here's the actionable step. For the next 30 days, just track your spending, use an app or a notebook, and just observe. You'll probably be surprised at how much those daily coffees, unused subscriptions, pre-workout can be adding up. Doing this separates your emotions from your actions. You're no longer guessing, it is your reality. Once you know your number, you can start making strategic changes instead of emotional ones. If this is making sense and you're ready to stop relying on motivation, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It's a small, consistent action that helps the channel a ton. And let me know in the comments, what's the one financial habit you've struggled to stay consistent with? I read every single one of them. The third habit is learning that risk management matters more than your output. A fighter has a game plan. They know they have to survive 12 rounds, so they pace themselves. They don't come out in the first round swinging for a knockout with every single punch, because that would leave them gassed and vulnerable. Their plan is to build around controlled output and also by protecting themselves. Okay, this is where most of us get our finances completely wrong. We chase those one hits of financial success. We hear someone who made a fortune on a single stock and want to do exactly the same. We take too much debt or poor savings into a risky investment, hoping for that one big win. That's the financial equivalent of throwing wild haymakers. It might work, but if it doesn't, you're done. So true financial fitness is about building automation, and it's about protecting your downside so you can stay in the game long enough for your good decisions to compound. Here's the actionable step. Build a starter emergency fund. Before you do anything else, your first goal should be to save a small accessible buffer. Many experts suggest starting with $1,000. Put it in a separate, insured, easy to access savings account. This isn't an investment, it's your defense. An emergency fund is the financial equivalent of a fighter's ability to take a punch. When an unexpected bill hits, you won't have to go into your debt or sell your investments at the worst possible time. It allows you to absorb the blow and stick to your game plan. Once you have that buffer, you build on it until you have 3 to 6 months or essential living expenses saved. The fourth and final habit is understanding that consistency compounds and that recovery is part of the system. A fighter's progress comes from structured sessions over months and years, and just as important is the recovery, the sleep, nutrition, and rest days that let the body heal and get stronger. Wealth is built the same way. The power of compounding isn't get rich quick schemes. It's a get rich slowly guarantee. I like that one. It's like that famous principle often attributed to Bruce Lee. Long-term consistency trumps short-term intensity. The person who invests steadily every month reduces the risk of bad timing. And just like a fighter, you need a recovery plan. In money, recovery means building in buffers and forgiving yourself for mistakes. A bad financial week doesn't have to ruin your financial plan. You can use mental resets like having a $0 day after a weekend of overspending. This isn't some official thing, just a tool to get back on track, reset and return to the system. Here's the actionable step. Schedule a month's money to review in your calendar. This is your scheduled recovery and strategy session. During this 30-minute block, you review your tracking to see where you stand and check on your automations to ensure your system is running smoothly. This isn't a time to beat yourself up. It's a time to make small adjustments, just like a fighter and their coach reviewing their tape between rounds. And then that turns your financial journey into a series of manageable cycles, not one endless, overwhelming fight. For years, I treated my finances like saving a stingy person and then working harder. Now I'm learning to treat it like a training camp. It's structured, it's systematic. And yeah, sometimes it's a little boring, but it works. Financial fitness, just like physical fitness, isn't about being perfect. It's about having a system that works even when you don't feel like it. It'll transform your life. Speaking of transform, go check out my transformation video.